Hello, everyone. Excited to introduce Peg Fitzpatrick.
I am going to share some great ideas for your Instagram stories today. Wow, I need to do more for my business.
Our recommendation is always to invest in Instagram stories these days.
You really want to think about telling the story, like the beginning, middle, and the end. One great trick with one click, make this a Pinterest size. It's really easy just to customize this. How cool is that?
Such useful knowledge that you're going to want to rewatch over and over. And we have so much more coming as well.
Let's all bond together, right?
I see a live. I'm gonna take it as we are officially live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Adobe Spark Speaker Series. I am Courtney Thomas, Social Media Manager for Adobe Spark, and I am so honored and excited to introduce Peg Fitzpatrick, who truly needs very little to no introduction. You're so famous and popular across all social channels, 1.5 million followers. And she is here today to tell us some tips and tricks to master Instagram stories. Thank you so much for joining us, Peg.
I am so excited, Courtney. Okay, number one, we had something like this week with a day and a time. We got to get all dressed. So everybody, if you are here, say hi. If you're in your PJs, you don't even have to tell us, but just say hello and let's all bond together, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is the first time I've worn makeup in, I think, 3 weeks. So this is, we are here.
I have to admit, I put it on every day.
Oh, good for you. That's good.
I just feel better.
It does make, I honestly even put perfume on. You guys can't smell me, but I smell me. So it adds.
Right. You got to do all the things.
All the things. All right. We'll jump right in. I'm going to.
Okay. Super. Okay, everybody. As Courtney said, I'm here with you guys on Adobe Spark. If you're on my Facebook page, hey, I am going to share some great ideas for your Instagram stories today. So I'm going to get into some design and do a demo later. So make sure you stay tuned so you can see the demo. But what I want to tell you first is just why you should use Instagram stories. A third of the most viewed stories are from businesses. So people on Instagram really do like following businesses. For example, you're following Adobe Spark, and they are a business, and you probably love their stories like I do. So people don't really feel interrupted by brand content on Instagram as much as they would maybe other places. They really blend in, and brands do a great job. So we're going to go over things to make sure that you guys can do that as well. And 73% of all businesses plan on using Instagram stories in 2020. So I can guarantee these numbers are probably higher. All the stats that I'm giving you were pre all this time when we're all at home. Now everybody's really figuring out wow, I need to do more for my business. And we're not going to talk about any scary stuff or any of that kind of stuff, but let's just say our businesses all need a little extra spark, and Instagram stories and using Adobe Spark are exactly what you need to get brand awareness, to get people to see what your products do and actually try them. If you have more than 10,000 followers, you can have a swipe up link. But if you don't have 10,000 followers, that doesn't mean you can't have great stories. It just means you need to work a little bit harder to do some calls to action to give people ideas on how to find your products. So, one more stat I want to tell you guys. 62% of people who have seen brands on Instagram stories have been interested enough to go research it and buy something from them. So I will share later the article that I got all those great stats from. It was from Hootsuite, and they had a great article about why you should use Instagram stories. So I wanted to just share a little bit of the why. Why are they so important? And they really are, because Instagram's algorithm has slowed down. It used to be that everybody would see all your things, and now a smaller percentage of people see your things on Instagram, just like back when Facebook did the same thing. They want you to do more ads. What's really, really popular on Instagram is Instagram IGTV. So if you create Instagram, the IGTVs, you can share them on your profile, and you can share them on, it gives you an extra little tab. But then you can work that with your stories. So there's a lot of ways to use all the different Instagram products together, whether it's a post, a story, or an IGTV or a video. You can go live. There's a lot of different things, but Instagram stories are kind of the heart of what people see besides their main feed that they're scrolling through, after the main feed, you always see at the top there's little people up there that have the circles around there because they have a story. And I don't know about you, but I am always drawn in to see if somebody's live or if they are just if they have a story, because it's very interesting. It's always relevant. It's within 24 hours. So there's a lot of great content there. I have caught a lot of little concerts recently while everybody's home. Keith Urban has been doing concerts and they'll share things in their stories about those. So it's a great way to let people know when something is going on. For example, earlier today, I did an Instagram story, obviously, for this, telling people I was going to be here, sharing ideas for Instagram stories. So it's a great way to get people's attention. So let me know in the comments, wherever you are. If you're on Twitter watching this, send me a tweet at Peg Fitzpatrick. If you're on Facebook, let us know in the comments. Did you find this through an Instagram story, whether it was Adobe Spark or mine? Did something in a story bring you here? Because that's really interesting if it did. So, what we're going to talk about today overall is how to create value for your audience through Instagram stories. You really want to think about the whole title being an Instagram story and not sharing just one little thing or another little thing. Every once in a while, I will share just a quick thing, but then I usually try to tie it together with maybe things that I'm doing all day. If I'm doing like behind the scenes kind of content, like last night, I saw this really cute outfit and it reminded me of when we all used to like get dressed up and go out to do something. And I was like, oh, remember cute outfits? So I just thought that was fun to share. And I put a little note on it. So that's an idea that you could do. But then you want to think about, keeping more. So that was an idea. That's an example of just like one thing that it goes into your Instagram stories, but you really want to think about telling a story. So it would have a actual story. So you have a hook, like the beginning, middle, and the end. You have a hook to your stories, you have a problem, you have a solution, and then you're going to share something and talk about it. And then once you've figured out all those things, you can go to actually make the graphics for things. So when you're thinking about it, think about what can I create that would be interesting for people in my stories that has to do with my brand. So I did this today as like a small business. Any small business could use the idea that I'm going to create today. I found a template that I thought was super cute in Spark, and I used that. I customized it, which I'm going to show you when I get to the demo. And I'm going to actually share my graphics that I made as remixable links so you guys can take them and remix them yourselves in your own brand. So I'd love to see those when you do that. So what I came up with was just a way to connect with people. And like I said, any small business could do this, or any individual. Just, we're all at home. We all want to connect with people more than ever. So I came up with the idea to create a little series of stories about creating a playlist, like songs that you could share with people. I love Spotify. Other people love Pandora. There's so many different ways to create a playlist, or even in your own music, however you want to do it. I'm using the Spotify example just because it's easy and that's what I use, but any list that you want to do. But the main thing is that you're going to come up with the hook, which mine is, let me see, I think I will actually hop into a screen share right now so I can show you what I'm talking about. So when I am in Adobe Spark, I think you guys can see this now. Um, you can see that I created, okay, I'm going to go right into, I'm going to go into a project because I made a cool folder. So when you're in, this is Adobe Spark. When you're in here, you can create little folders. These are my projects that I've created individually, but I created this really cool little folder that you can click on and you can drag and drop things in here. So what I created was my hook for this is that Alexa has become my coworker because we're all, I'm just going to check chat here quick. So we're all home and I have an Alexa. I don't know if you do, but I'm talking to it all the time. You can get it to play music. You can do different things. I have to be careful I don't say my prompt or all of a sudden you're going to hear it. But so this is just a little graphic that I saw and it had the bougie store on there, which I left because that was hysterical. I don't know who created that in Adobe, but good sense of humor. So this is my hook. This is Alexa's become my coworker and basically I miss people. So I'm going to go back in and show you my problem, which I just told you is that, go back in here. that I miss people. We miss people, right? We miss seeing people. So then I made a quick one that just says, I miss people. Now, when you're in these, I'm just going to show you my little series that I created, and then I'm going to show you how you can remix them. And you can change that photo to anything. It's spring, and I'm really looking forward to spring trees and flowers. So that's just why I picked that pink one because it's pretty. Then, after we have our hook, we have our problem. Our solution is I'm going to make a playlist that I can share in my Instagram stories. And maybe you guys have seen this. There's all different kinds of little things that you can make that people can fill out. So I did relaxing songs to add to your playlist. This was actually a template in Adobe Spark. And then you can change the colors and everything else in here. So it has suggested colors, any colors. You can change this to anything that you want, anything that you like, any color. But I'm going to switch it back just because I had it in there. Whoops, that made my colors go away. So you can see how easy it is to click around, and then you can change this little message at the bottom. That's just my little logo that I added. You could change that to a different one. Um, or you could put no logo if you want it to be something that people really shared. And then for my example for that, so usually when people create these little things that people can do, they do things called this or that's where you can circle two things, or, there's all different kinds of little fill out kind of form kind of things that you can use. So you would share it as a blank one, and then you could share yours first or after. You could share relaxing songs. So I just added some in here that I like. I did Banana Pancakes, the Beatles' Blackbird, You Matter to Me, which is a song from Waitress the Musical, which is really awesome. And you can just do your own, and then you would share the other one. So when you share this to Instagram, you could say, hey, like you can write a little note on Instagram saying, hey, add your own and share to your Instagram. And you see people sharing these all the time. And let me go back into my projects to see that. So when you have your things, and then there was one other one that I did that you can actually just click on. This one I have to do on the app because it had some different features in it. But you could make just a little series of anything, like how to be productive from working at home. So you could just change your text and say, what's your favorite? Sorry, can't type live. The pressure. Okay, so then you can just go ahead and change that any way you want. So you can just change it. You guys probably know some of the things already in Spark, but just in case you don't, I'm going to just click through a couple things to give you guys ideas. So I don't need the how to anymore. So I'm going to delete that one, and I can move this one up. And you could just play with these over and over again. Just do a little hard return there and put this up at the top. I'm going to add a 4 working. So it says 4 working from home. Then I'm going to change the line spacing so they're closer together. It's really easy just to customize this. And again, these are my brand colors. I'm going to give you guys the links for this, and you can change these to any things that you want. So if you click on this and you go, move me down, move into color, you can, again, you can change these to anything that you want. You can change them to, you can change, that looks so bad. Let me just click that there. What's your favorite music for working from home? You could add your logo. I just have the bougie store on here. And then, but if you wanted to, you could just go into add your own logos. One great trick that you guys should always remember, these right now are Instagram story size. But if I create these and I really like it, I could also just, with one click, make this a Pinterest size. Just one click. You can change it to any different size that you want. So this is Instagram stories. It's a little out of balance now, so I'm just going to play with it a little bit. Add extra space in there. So you can see how easy it is to just change fonts. If you don't like the little dots, you can just take it out. You can make it more centered. There's really no right or wrong way. You can see there's just a lot of different ways to change this. If I don't like this image anymore, I can replace this. It's really awesome. There's free images that are in here through Unsplash. So if I want to change this to a different photo, I can just change it with one click. And how easy was that? And I know that I can use that, and it's super easy. So You can add filters if you wanted to make it more pink. These are filters that are in mine. You could blur your background. There's so many different ways to change your photos. There's all the filters in here. Or if you have your own images, you can just go into here and then you can click on this. These are the free photos. Where are my photos? So also I can go from my own photos. I could upload photos from my computer. I can use Adobe Stock if you have a that's those are paid photos. You can grab your own photos from Lightroom. You can connect to Dropbox, which I have a lot of photos there, or you can get them from Google Drive. So there's lots of different places that you can get your images. But if you don't have any, you can just go right in here and find something that will work for you. I mean, that's cute. So it's really easy to find photos. That is never a problem. So going back into our product to our projects, this is basically how I created them, and then I saved them all in my little project. Now, when I'm ready to use them, I can switch right over to my phone, and I'm going to do that and show you how I do that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to switch to my iPhone so you guys can see that the images that I was just working with are right already in my, like magic, they're already going to be in my Spark. So when I go into my posts, here's the ones that I was just working on. They're populating. We're just working on this one. It looks exactly like we did in there. It doesn't have the image. So when I'm ready to do it, so say for example, oops, my phone just froze. Okay. So say for example, we wanted to work on this one. You can just hit the edit button and say I want to animate this, add a little cool text animation. You can just click on it and then say done, and then you can preview that. I don't love that animation for this, so then you can just try a different one. Super easy. So you can go through and click these. Another thing that I like to do is where's my little photo filters? That looks, I like to, whoops, there, if I want to switch my image, I like to make my photos move a little bit sometimes when I'm in here doing this. It's really easy. Like I said, even on here, you can just resize to anything. This one, we'll just make that Instagram story size. Perfect. You can change colors. It has my brand kit in there. If you guys don't have a brand kit already set up in Adobe Spark, it's super easy to do it and it carries anywhere. But if you wanted to, you can just pick one of their palettes and then kind of play with that. That doesn't look very good with that photo. So we will go back to this one. They give me a suggested one. So I can take that one. And that has colors that are from the photo. I don't know, I should share that again. See the cool swatches? Those are actually right in all the photos. So it's actually taking the color palette from there, and you can just drag your little tool around if you want one of those pinks and just choose it. How cool is that? But that's too late for that text. So we will go back and try a, maybe we'll do like a little gray. That's easier to read. So I would definitely play with this more if I was doing this because I don't like that working from home color now. But you can see how easy that is. And that color dropper, that little eyedropper tool is total gold because you can just keep playing with it until you have it. And then when you're done, it saved all those colors for me. And if I just wanted to see what different versions look like, I can just hit that little refresh button and it just changes the colors for me. So that is easier than me just clicking around on it. And I want to move that over a little bit. I'm just dragging and dropping that with my finger, and you see the little grid marks? Super easy to do. So I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to, so you can see different versions that I have there. This is the one that I have that I was working on. That's the blank one. So if I wanted to, I can just download that. Wait a minute. Download solid color. I am just going to save it, and I'll show you how I will add this to an Instagram story really easily. So then you can just go right into Instagram, into that little camera up there, and then you upload. like that. So easy. And if you'll notice at the bottom of this, I left some space so I could write a message. So I can write, screen cap this and share on your stories. And then you can put that down at the bottom. So it's really cool to like already have something made, but then leave some, I don't like that. Change that a little bit. It's kind of long. And then people know that they can do that. That one's too big for that. So we would make that smaller and put it down there. You can also add GIFs on here. So there's all different kinds of things that you can do to make this shareable and more engaging. It's also great to use any of the little tools they have in here, like music. You could add a song if you had, I don't even know if Jack Johnson's on here. Let's see if Banana Pancakes is on here. Oh, it is. I love this song. Okay, so you can add the song on there, and it will actually put the words on there, and it will play the song, which is really cool. So then you just hit send, and it would go right over there. You can also add hashtags. So I'm going to stop screen sharing for a second. So those are just some quick ways that I wanted to show you that you can use both Adobe on desktop and in your app together. And it's really cool because you can remix any of the Spark templates to match your brand. Like I said, I will share the ones that I created for this little series. I'll go back into my desktop quick. So I will share this little folder. I'll see if, I'm not sure if I can share the whole folder, but I'm guessing I probably can because it had a little, well, I'll figure out how to do that. Courtney will help me after. But so I will share all these, and then you can take these and you're just going to hit the edit the project, and you're going to change everything on here to match your own brand. You can change the type right there, really easy in the fonts. You can change it. You can add your own fonts, which is amazing. You can even do this on your phone and it will add all your Google fonts or anything that you have in Adobe. If you have fonts in Photoshop, it's amazing. But they have a lot in here that you can use. So you can just go through and check something, pick something that you like, change all these. You don't even have to put relaxing songs. You could change this to like positive songs or background piano music or whatever you want. You can change every single thing in this and customize it to match. And I can't wait to see what you guys make from these. Make sure that you can share them actually in the comments. I'm going to stop this again. You can share them in the comments in the Adobe Spark Insiders Facebook group, or you can tweet and share them. Or if you post them on Instagram, you can tag me at Peg Fitzpatrick, or you can have Adobe Spark. You can tag them. Spark Insiders. This is the Spark Insiders, the speaker series. So there's going to be more. I don't know if Courtney's going to pop on to share some things with you. Hey, Courtney. Oh, I don't have sound again.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, cool. So what did you think, Courtney?
Love it. I mean, you're amazing. So I'm fascinated by all of the statistics that you shared at the top about you said 73% of businesses are planning to use Instagram stories.
Isn't that crazy?
That's an insane number. And
it's a high number.
Yeah. So I'm excited to have you back. I know you have a couple of more sessions that you have planned with the Spark audience. So please continue to give us that knowledge that is right up there.
Yeah. And I will share the links to all these. We're going to share them in the Facebook group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the Facebook group, after you guys, I'll go in, I'll share that article because it has a lot of great stats for stats people, social media managers. You need to maximize your time, right, Courtney?
We love it. It guides us so much in
Mm-hmm.
terms of just strategy. You got to know what's going on.
It is. It's important. Design and strategy. And then it's because it's all communication. Like, where is the best place to tell a story? Like, you have to think about those things. Is it a static post or a live story? And then there's so many ways to customize Instagram stories and brand them really, really well. So it is a great way to really highlight your brand or even a product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I maintain Instagram stories is the number one place to be if you're going to be on Instagram right now. The algorithm doesn't seem to be impacting Instagram stories as much as it does feed. So our recommendation is always to invest in Instagram stories these days. Make sure you keep your feed updated, of course, but
Right.
you're going to see the most traction from Instagram stories.
I 100% agree with that. I think keeping your stories active brings way more views than just and then also I was going to talk about hashtags quick.
Oh yeah.
Hashtags, when you're using them, which is very important, you can use one hashtag, but then if you do text, if you hit the A and do text, you can do like up to 20 and make them really small and put them at the bottom. But
Oh,
make sure you're strategic about your hashtag use. So right now everybody's using hashtag stay at home because we're all at home. But if you do stay at home life, a lot more people will see that, or work from home, or work from home life, because everyone's at home working. There's like 9 million results to the top one. So check the hashtags. If there's over a million, I hardly ever use them because no one is going to see it. It will zoom by. So if you pick things that are like 100,000, 200,000, anything over, like if they have under 1,000, it's really hard. No one's really looking at that. So try to pick something that in a sweet spot of like 10,000 to 200,000 and stick in that range for hashtag results. And I feel like it gives you a good boost for your posts.
absolutely. And the number one thing I like to tell people is don't just tag your posts. Go and engage in those hashtags too. Because if you're just
Yes,
placing a hashtag and wishing for the best, you're not going to see results that way. If you actually go in and start conversations and comment and
right.
really be interested,
Mhm.
you'll find how interesting people do find you, and that follow button gets hit, and suddenly you have a new customer.
Exactly. And it is important just to check the hashtags to make sure that it's the right type of content because sometimes things can mean different things.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
anyone has any questions while we're still on, please go ahead. We're live across Twitter and Facebook and in our insiders group. So I'm here reading them. If you guys want to type something now to ask Peg a question, let me know and I'm happy to relay it to her. In the meantime, we got a couple comments while you were talking.
Okay.
Sue found you on IG and Facebook. This is Sue.
Cool.
I don't want to mispronounce your last name, but Hewitts. And then Sandra Angel says she also found you on Facebook.
Cool. So I always think it's interesting to see where people find it. Now, the other thing is people will find the Instagram stories later, but then they'll be able to see this because it's recorded. So,
Exactly. Yeah, we'll definitely keep this posted and pinned in all of our channels because this is just such useful knowledge that you're going to want to rewatch over and over. And we have so much more coming as well.
yeah, you're next, right, Courtney?
I am next. I'm so excited. I'm going to be talking about professional portfolio making with Spark Video. Um,
Wow.
But there has been such a large call for social media strategy
Mhm.
around these live series. So I'm happy to answer any questions as I go through my video demo. And then I'll probably hop back online another time and actually just go through some social media strategy tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's see. Before we log off, any questions? Last call. Amy said she loves the Peg Fitzpatrick pink.
Yay, thank you. I
It's
just
like
did a post about that because when I was picking my brand, I got advice never that I should not use pink. I
pink.
know. And they were like, "No, it's too girly, it's too the," and I was like, "You know what?" The first time I redid my blog, I listened and I hated my blog every time I went there. And like
What
I
color?
didn't like, pardon me?
What color did you do
The
instead?
other color was like this steel blue with like gold.
That didn't
Those
that didn't
colors,
bring you joy.
it did nothing for me. Like it made me unhappy. Now every time I go to my blog, I feel like happy. I'm like, I love it. I love my blog. If nobody else loves it, I still
You
go and
gotta
read
love
it.
it.
And
And that's the energy from which you communicate, and it comes through so clearly. So
yeah, your color really does have to speak to your like soul.
I know. I think I used to think pink was like so girly, but as I've grown into my womanhood, I'm like, I love pink. It's so good.
I was such a tomboy when I was little. I probably never wore pink, to be honest. I think I was the only girl in my kindergarten class that had sneakers on with a dress.
Yes, I was definitely that girl too. My mom tried to get me into some Doc Martens, and I was like trying to cut off the heel and just
Oh man, your mom was cool.
she was the coolest, and I was a tomboy that just wanted comfort and clothing that I could run in and play kickball in with the boys.
Yeah. I had Keds. Remember Keds? Are Keds still around?
Outfits are still around. I was just thinking about ordering another pair actually with all the prints and pink and all that good.
Awesome.
All right. Sandra says, great knowledge. I would like to learn more from my real estate clients in San Diego. All right, Sandra, let's see what we can do to help you out. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We're going to log off now, but we're so excited. We'll see you again on Tuesday, and we'll be live again. And let us know if you have any questions. If you're watching this after our live session, we'll always be online. We're always here to answer your questions. So just let us know. And follow at Peg Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and I will put the links in the Facebook group as soon as we're done. So if you're looking for the links to things, they'll be there.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Peg.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, our pleasure.